like take a moment to be centered, be focused. This is something like every time I trade, before I look at charts, I always make sure that I'm in a centered, focused place. And sometimes it could just I need to get myself there. Sometimes it takes effort, you know. Sometimes I gotta do some breath work. Sometimes I gotta do some I'll do Tai Chi a lot, right? But when I am in an aligned state, when I'm feeling centered, I'm feeling focused, then obviously I'm gonna do much better in the charts. So one of the most powerful ways that I do this, I last week did a guided meditation, you could call it. But I'm just going to explain the visualization to you guys because it's really, why not? Let's just do it actually. Why not? Like, why would, if I'm going to explain it, why don't we just do it? So if everyone that's on, and obviously if you're watching the recording, go ahead and get comfortable, whether you're sitting or laying down, listening to me. And we're going to do just like a quick I'm going to do a fast version. Usually this is like a 7-minute, maybe 10-minute visualization. I'm going to try to do it in like 2 minutes. Okay. But this visualization, this is something that I do every single day, whether I'm trading or not. At bare minimum, this is my like level 0 practice. If I feel like I'm in bed dying, I at least will do this visualization and do it intensely. And so this is my bare minimum. But yeah, anyways, go ahead and if you get comfortable, what we're going to do is first get conscious of your breath, whether your eyes are open or closed. Start to be conscious of how you're breathing. And remember that abundant breaths are breaths that breathe where you go in to your belly. You breathe deep into your belly first, your chest second, and then your throat. And remember that for most people, it has been a habit set through life to breathe the shallow chest breaths. When you breathe shallow breaths and you're only breathing in your chest, that's breath of scarcity. You're going to slow your heart, or your heart's going to speed up. You're going to feel more tense throughout your day. You're going to feel more anxious, okay? Because you're taking shallow, scarce breaths. And our breath is our source of life. You know, it's like, well, one of them, right? People say water and food, but actually the breath is really what animates. You know, a baby can come out of the womb and not eat anything for the longest time. Baby doesn't need food. You know, we don't need food. They obviously they have the milk from their mother, but the breath is what gives the most life, because we're bringing in this chi, this prana, this life force energy. And I have a friend, if you guys any of you don't know, you pull him up. Good friend of mine, Devon. I gotta go to Instagram. No, so we're gonna do the visualization, but give it just a second. Well, my friend Devon, he has been, let me go to his profile. He's the Black Airbender on Instagram, but he's been living off breath and sometimes juice for years. He does not eat food. He hasn't eaten food for years. And so this is, he's amazing. Him and I co-hosted an event here in Tulum in October. Talked to him yesterday. Go say hi, follow him. He teaches amazing things with breath work, scalar. If you don't know what scalar is, it's really powerful, amazing technology. Anyways, what I'm getting at is that our breath is our true source of life. So if we're taking shallow breaths, and we're gonna feel shallow, you know, feel scarce, feel lack throughout our life. So anyways, everyone get present, get centered, be present with your breath, breathing into your belly. If you can push that breath all the way to your tailbone, you know, that's kind of what the focus is. It's hard to breathe to your tailbone, but you know what I'm saying. Breathe into your chest, second, right, and then your throat, third. And try to keep this pattern, obviously, while we're doing this visualization, but throughout your day. Every time you can be conscious of your breath, make sure that you're breathing abundantly. It's going to empower you to feel abundance. Okay, so when you're comfortable, take a couple deep breaths. I know maybe you've been focused on your belly and already been breathing deeper than usual, but make it extra deep. I know a lot of people don't breathe through your mouth. It doesn't matter. If you weren't supposed to breathe through your mouth, you wouldn't be able to. Okay. Yes, it's better to breathe through your nose. Filter that breath. It's much, much better to get the breath into your head, right? And all that. But sometimes we need to bring extra oxygen in. That's why we yawn. We need to bring extra energy in. It's good to breathe through our mouth. We can take more in. It's all right. So actually take a couple deep breaths. I want you to imagine now with every breath that brilliant white light is coming into your body. One way to imagine this is you can imagine little particles of light going into your breath or just every breath is just brilliant white light going into your body. Another way you can imagine this is a brilliant beam of bright white light above your head that's just shining down like a spotlight on you. And as you breathe, it fills your entire body. Watch that white light go to your toes, go to your knees, your thighs, your butt, your belly, your chest, right? Every part of your body up through your head. Imagine the white light going into your eyes, into your jaw, all the little things too, into your fingers. And for 1 or 2 breaths, imagine that white light going brighter. So you are the light. You're growing brighter and brighter with a couple breaths. And then I want you to imagine on this next breath inward, if you're not already seeing this as a brilliant beam of white light beaming down upon you, what I want you to imagine is a light, a spotlight above you that is all the way at the edge of existence. Matter of fact, let's take this one level deeper. I want you, before you see this white light above you, I want you with the next few breaths to imagine your body's growing larger and larger. So with this next breath, your body, imagine your awareness expanding larger than your current body to be bigger than your room. And then your next breath, your body grows to be larger than your house and larger than your neighborhood. If you can, imagine it being larger than the country you're in, larger than the planet that you're on. Imagine your body growing so large that the earth is just a speck of dust under your seat, under your feet. Imagine the whole universe. Eventually your body grows so large, the whole universe is under you, that if you're laying down or you're sitting down, it's the universe that's created your comfortable bed or your comfortable seat, or the ground that you're standing on. The planets and everything in it, all of existence is under you. So at this point, this is where you're going to see that you are basically at the end of existence. Your body is basically as large as existence. You're going to imagine a brilliant white light, still greater and larger than your body. With the next breath, it beams beautifully straight down through your head into your chest to connect to your heart center. So now it's like this pillar of light larger than you is connected to your heart center. And with the next breath, you breathe in. I want you to imagine a brilliant white light at the heart center growing brighter and brighter and brighter, sphere of light, till it grows so bright all of a sudden it beams down at the speed of light down below you and connects to the edge of existence below you. So for me, I see this as for whatever reason, I see existence as a sphere that I'm inside, and that this brilliant white light is connecting to the top of me, to the top of the sphere above me, to my heart center to the sphere below me. And then with the next breath, I'm going to imagine that brilliant white light at the center of my heart growing, the sphere of light growing brighter and brighter and brighter. And then all of a sudden it shoots out my right shoulder all the way to the edge of existence of this sphere on my right side. And then with the next breath, we're going to imagine once again that brilliant white light building at our heart center, growing so bright. All of a sudden the pressure gets so big, it shoots out our left shoulder to connect to the edge of existence on the left side. And then once again, with your next breath, you're going to imagine this brilliant white light growing brighter and brighter and brighter at your heart center, and all of a sudden shooting like Iron Man, a beam all the way out in front of you, connecting to the edge of existence in front of you. And with this final breath, you're going to imagine that brilliant white light growing brighter and brighter until pressure builds and it shoots out behind you, connecting to the edge of existence behind you. Let your breaths go back to normal. Remember the normal, abundant belly breaths. Breathe deep into your belly. And you're going to imagine that with 1 or 2 breaths as you breathe, these beams of light grow brighter and brighter and brighter. And then when you feel centered, feel good, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Remember you're in a body. Bring yourself back. Open your eyes when you feel. And this is a visualization that I do every day to bring me to center, to bring me to a place where I feel I'm aligned. I feel completely different after that, just doing that visualization with you guys. So that when I go into charts or I do anything that I do, I'm in a centered state. What I effectively did is I connected myself to source energy as well. So I'm going to feel more, if I'm doing this consistently, I'm going to feel more inspired. I'm going to feel more energized. I'm going to feel more empowered. Okay. Perfect. Here we are. I'm feeling it. Okay, guys. So I'm gonna flow through charts a little bit, but first, or not first, meanwhile, always remember if you have any questions about anything, you let me know. I want to remind you, if you're not paying attention in the Discord, to definitely do so. I know there's a lot in here. We have just upgraded where if you go to terms and conditions, where are we at? Oh, here it is. If you click one of the emojis here that is alignment with alerts that you want to get. So let's say you want Forex alerts, you want live stream alerts. All you have to do is go into the Discord and click which one you would like to get alerts for. Okay. And we will, when we have these alerts, we'll tag this and you will get notifications just for that. So you see how today I tagged everyone. So I want you guys all to see this. Okay. But if you want to just, maybe you don't care about live streams. If you're on this live stream, obviously you care about it, but maybe people don't. Or maybe you don't care about Forex trades. You're in here for the consciousness stuff. So it looks like we have to add an alert for that. We'll do that. Easy. But simply just click one of these emojis and it will subscribe you to one of these. So when, I don't know actually what hunting alerts is. I'll have to check that out. Beyond the point. Yeah, stay tuned. Of course, this is going to be a better way for us so you don't have to get drowned with all these notifications on everything, especially stuff you don't care about. One of the big things, index alerts. Like for me, I don't trade indexes. I don't trade the stock market. I don't trade indices. So I am not going to subscribe to that. I trade stocks. Here's also the stocks. So I personally want the live stream alerts and I want the Forex alerts, and I'll do funded alerts too. So, but yeah, check that out. And we're flowing. Absolutely. Okay. So on that note, of course, recordings are always here. Consciousness. I did an last or 2 weeks ago, about a week and a half ago, I did an amazing video on the subconscious mind. Watch it. It's an hour and a half. If you're not super familiar with the subconscious mind, then this will blow your mind. If you are familiar a little bit with the subconscious mind, still watch it. Tons of great stuff in here. I talk about how to reprogram, everything like that. So, okay. I had to mention that stuff always. I have more stuff to mention on the Discord, but I'll do it later. What I want to do is see, it's Wednesday. I want to see if we can find some trades. So first off, this is British pound versus Japanese yen. And shout out to Tony. He may watch this recording later, but we were charting last night and I told him to get into a sell. And if he left it open, he's in profit for sure. It's on a demo account. He's just getting started. But either way, we have to notice, obviously I have this little trend line that GBP JPY is kind of being supported. And so it doesn't fully seem like there's a decision made on whether it's going to go up or down. However, there's a lot of different things on price action that tell me, some more downside is likely, or at least some sideways before making a decision. But a couple things we can see here. I'm on the weekly chart. And I'm starting at the weekly because that's going to give me a good direction on, where I think the lower time frames are going to go. Okay, so the weekly chart we can see with Bollinger Bands, we attempted to, balance. We had a support candle here. We saw support right here. But then we saw this super bearish candle overtake it. So that was like, okay, maybe that's not support. But then also made a strong bullish candle. So right there, these three candles are like, they're telling us different things. Right? They're what's the word? I can't think of it, but anyways, contradicting. That's where I couldn't think of the word contradicting. They're contradicting themselves, right? So fast forward now, then we got last week's candle. We touched this little resistance level. This is potentially, when we get a doji like this, potentially could be a reversal candle. But the fact that this big candle body, the fact that this candle here was a lot larger than this one, meaning that the people buying were a lot stronger than the people selling. That's what the larger candle bodies tell me, is like people going up have more. Oh, Delaney said here, I believe the hunting one is alert for the admins to let us know that they're looking at charts and may put a trading alert in the chat soon. I see. Okay. Thanks for letting me know. I guess I should have maybe just read, because it might be in here. Here we go. Yes. Click on the emojis. Hunting alerts need some clarification. This is one I will use and maybe other admins when we're actively investigating or searching for a trade opportunity. It serves as a heads up that a trade may be posted soon. Thanks, Delaney. Perfect. Spot on. Yeah, Kian's the Discord king. I'm really good at building community and connecting and talking, but sometimes the technical stuff of Discord, I'm like, dude, it's not that I can't, I just don't want it. Like, I just don't have the time to like really figure it out. But Keon's a genius. So, okay. Anyways, so right now, short term, based off the weekly chart, we're kind of seeing some downward movement, but it's like really indecisive, obviously, right? So to me, I'm already in this place of like, on the higher time frames, like I'm not going to make a trade. So I'll see if there's anything on the lower time frames, because we're kind of going down. And on the 4 hour here, we seem to be making a new low, which is great. We have now just broken the low. Just as we were talking, we just saw it kind of spike down. So we're definitely in a downtrend. I don't get in a trade as we're moving, but the low time frame is just started, or I mean, the high time frame is just started potentially if we're going to go down. So we can, just between this blue line and potentially this purple line, we could see this as a channel. So if you're into trading the sideways markets, if you can watch things on the lower time frames, then what I would do is go to a lower time frame now and just wait for a retest, because now that we've broken this low, that tells you there's strong momentum to the downside. We are now in a downtrend, but right now is not our time to get into a sell. As a trader, we want to wait for as a profitable trader, we want to wait for confirmation. Right now, it'd be just like jumping in and hoping, and that doesn't make sense. So here we can see, actually, we touched the support level, bounced, touched it, bounced. Then we broke low or broke down below, and then we touched it and rejected. And we did actually have a retest right here. So to me, because of that retest, it could maybe go lower, but just because we just barely broke a low, I'm not, I would rather wait for a bounce. So what I want to see is something similar to what we saw here. We break down, and then we kind of come back up, right? Breathe in a little bit, so then we can breathe out, right? So watching that, I can watch this on the hour, the 4 hour, whatever. I'll put an alert, but I have also a couple levels that I can draw to see where it might stop. And so right here, I see one, and I'll draw Y, but I'm going to draw the line first. Boom, support, resistance. You can see it touched it here, bounced a little bit, touched it here is resistance, touched it here is support. So here's a level that I see. We just broke this one, so I don't see that one playing a role. I potentially see one like right here. This isn't very strong, but you can see it here, here, here. So now I have my levels that if it's going to bounce, potentially these are the levels that I'll look for it to bounce. So I'm going to look for it to come up either here, then go lower, or come down and then come up here and go lower. Potentially, if it breaks down below here, I could watch that trade. But for me, it's waiting. So, anyone have any questions about this chart right now? Because I'm going to move on to the next one. About anything I was saying or anything like that. No, we good? I'm here too. If there's any like guys, this is I charge a lot of money for my coaching, for one-on-one coaching. I just closed it off, but it's the full package to have the money back guarantee is $9,000. And it's 12 to, depends on who it is, right? Some people it could be 18 coaching sessions. It's really just about getting someone profitable. Without the money back guarantee, we're offering that for $6,000. But hold on, I'm gonna mute somebody coming through. I got you muted. But what I'm trying to get at is I charge what a lot of people would consider a lot of money for my coaching. And in the grand scheme, I know people that charge way more for coaching. There's this coaching program that I have set a goal for to go to. That's $1 million. It costs $1 million for 1 year of one-on-one coaching. So we'll get there. It might take me a couple years to be able to pay for that. But what I'm getting at is it's really cheap compared to what's out there. Actually, matter of fact, I'm just going to show you guys this training so you guys can watch it too, because it looks really cool. I know the guy who started this. Upgrade. That's not the guy that started it. The guy that started it, his name is Will. Let's see. Course is level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. Oh, they don't even have the prices anymore. Wow. Yeah, so this bespoke custom training / reprogramming, that's what I was talking about. This is $1 million. So these lower levels here are, I think it starts off with like 15,000, 30,000. So anyways, I have this awesome coaching that I'm choosing to go to. What I'm trying to get you guys is to think about is like when it comes to coaching and stuff, like open your mind, be ready to invest in yourself, because last year I paid over 30 grand for coaching for myself, and 10x my investment easily. I was able to make so much more money because of it. If we're just talking about money, it also made me happier, more empowered, And so anyways, what I'm getting at, there's a whole tangent to just tell you guys, like, I'm here coaching. I'm here present. I've been able to make hundreds of thousands of dollars from trading. I've been able to see a lot of success in other businesses as well. And a lot of it obviously is mindset, but you now have an opportunity. For some of you have only paid $51, right? Or $33, even some of you that got in early to the Discord group to have access to something that I charge thousands of dollars for. So what I'm getting at is don't be shy to ask questions. Okay. Don't be shy. Anything. Even if all this is like, I have no idea what the heck you're talking about, I have videos I can send you. I have all of it. So anyways, but obviously maybe you understand everything I'm saying and you might not have any questions. So that's totally fine. Okay. Beautiful. So here, USD JPY, you see, I just had a trade, a buy that I drew out. But now I'm anticipating that doesn't happen. Obviously, just we have this downward trend that's going on, and we keep touching this yellow line, going down, touching the yellow line, going down. I know I have a lot of lines here, but if you look at my lines, you can see a pattern in what the lines are doing. Let me delete some to make it really obvious. And this is why I always tell people to start trading in Forex, because it's so consistent with the patterns, but these are literally like steps, right? And look at every time. So here we go down, we come up, and we make a new low. And then notice how, draw this blue line, go down, come up, break down, and then the new high happens to be perfectly retesting what was the previous low. Oh, and what do you know? Happened again. Oh, what do you know? Happen again. Oh, what do you know? Is it about to happen again? Potentially. Usually the more, when you get to like 3, 4, especially 5 times in a row, it's better to be a little more careful, a little weary, because it's not always like going to be super obvious and easy. However, just based off risk to reward, this is obviously a much better sell. You saw in the beginning when I deleted that buy that I was looking at, because, yesterday I was drawing and I was seeing that, we were getting some sideways price action. Like, look at the daily. Every time we touch this yellow line, we only get a few candles and then we move down. Touch the yellow line, a couple candles, and move down. But with this one, we've got like 5 candles and we've just been rocking in the same area. So that to me says that downward movement is no longer as potentially strong as it was. Okay. So that's kind of what that was saying. But now we see this current candle is starting to move down, and we can go to the hourly and we've got a strong downward movement. So I would say that it's definitely not going to go up, in my opinion, right now, if we break this support level. Here, this is on the hourly. Otherwise, if we can hold that support level, we cannot make a decision off today's daily candle. If we hold that, honestly, if it looks like any one of these bullish candles, then to me, that means we're going to head up. I have here on this chart alerts. So we're in this sideways indecision place. And on the top of that sideways indecision, I have an alert. So if we break up, I can watch for if it's going to go higher. I can get that alert. And if we break down below, I can watch to get into a sell potentially. Right. Following? So with this analysis, once again, moving on to the next chart. Okay, so I'm on Euro USD now. Wow, we've been pumping today. Moving on up in the world. What is good? Yeah, okay. So I'm going to the Bollinger Bands on the weekly chart. And last week's candle was a very weak candle. No pun. Weekly candle. However, this one we're kind of moving up. We can't make a decision on this candle that is closed. What we can do is we can look at the lower time frames and we can see some of the bullish price action that's been happening on the lower time frames. Here I'm on the 4-hour, and you can see that we got this like uptrend going on. Touch it, go higher, touch it, go higher, touch it, go higher. Maybe we're at this resistance level. So if the trend continues, right, if we break above this high right here, well, then I will be interested in looking at a buy potentially. So it's got to break up, probably come down and retest. But if we go to the weekly, we cannot ignore the fact that we can't ignore the fact that the last weekly's candle, strong resistance candle, or a potential reversal candle, not strong resistance, I want to say reversal. So for me, just because I see that weekly candle, I wouldn't, even if on the low time frames we're pumping, like look at this 15-minute. This 15-minute looks like you could buy right now, and it'll full send upward. For me, I wouldn't touch it just because of the price action on the higher time frames. Now on the day, or okay, this is a 4-hour, so we still got time on the 4-hour. I can't make a decision on that. But this obviously was a perfect retest off the moving average. Got a hammer, and we're bouncing up. So to me, it's a waiting game for this one as well. I don't really see a trade here, unless we start to break levels. Okay, so let's pause really quick, and let me just talk about something that is obviously this is showing up as a pattern, and honestly, the last couple of weeks have been that I just haven't seen many trades, and this is a couple things. This doesn't mean that there aren't any trades, obviously, but this also just means, one, that my consciousness is maybe not in a place where I'm able to like be present for the charts all the time. For sure, the last couple of weeks, I'm present with just with packing and other processes of things with that. So on that note, I'm not able to be present with the charts as much as I'd like to be able to see the opportunity. But also, this is really important to mention, as a successful trader, I'm really focused right now. I'm here, I'm present, and I'm in a great mindset to be trading. But that doesn't mean that there's going to be trades. Not at all. And even, being in this mindset, even though I'm in the best mindset for trading, as a trader, a mistake I used to make is when I was in this mindset, sometimes there wouldn't be any trades. So I would try to force a trade. And how I would try to force it is I would try to make a pattern all the way to the low time frame. I'd go all the way to like the 1-minute time frame. And on the 1-minute time frame, I would try to find and force a trade, even though maybe all the higher time frames didn't look anything like the pattern I was trying to make up in my mind on the 1 minute. So I lost these trades so many times because I was trying to force it, just because I'm like, oh, well, I'm focused, so I got to make money. And where that programming comes from is a 9-to-5 salary or hourly wage based mindset. Okay. And nothing against anyone who's got a job or anything. But all of you, I know every single one of you here, if you have a job, straight, if you could be making 10, 20, 50 G's a month from trading, you would not be at that job. Probably. I can't say 100%, but I'm going to say I'm 99% sure all of you feel that way. But the employee mindset says, I need to show up. I need to be present in order to get paid. Trading does not work that way. Trading is fishing. You may go fishing. I don't like fishing. It's just boring, really boring to me. But if you go fishing, if you try to jump in the lake and swim after it, show up, right? Do it. You're not going to catch the fish. They're all going to swim away. But fishing, you have to be patient. But sometimes you cast your line and there's no fish. You can be totally focused in the moment, present, and all of a sudden there's no fish. Like, what are you going to do? You're going to move on. You're going to go to a new fishing spot. You're going to call it a day after a couple hours. So same thing. Trading is the exact same thing. It's not about showing up and putting the time into it. If you treat trading like a job, you won't see the success in it, period. You have to treat it as nature. See, jobs, people are like, well, a lot of people are like, well, dang, it's not natural, to try to, no, it's the job that's not natural. I've had jobs, I've had 9 to 5s, I've had salaries, I've had all that. Those are not natural. Those do not go with the natural flow of things. The boxy, you have to be here at this time every single day, present, focused. It's like, bro, I'm a human. I don't wake up, just ready to hit the ground running as soon as I'm up out of bed every day. Sometimes, yeah. And so trading is the same, sometimes it's just not there. And we have to be willing to know and to see that. And so it's really important because we've gone through technically 4 charts now, because we went on gold earlier. I was going through gold. There's only 1 or 2 people on when I was doing that. But I was going through gold, and I'm glad to go through it again if anyone would like. But same thing, we didn't really see anything there. And so this could be a moment where I could be like, oh, I'm on a live stream. I want to show off to all my friends. So I'm going to go try to find a trade right now. And that's just like, this is not the way to do it. So got to flow with it. Gotta flow with it. It's a great point. Too many hours in the charts makes you take trades you wouldn't normally take. I still struggle with the 9 to 5 grind mindset. I'm still learning to integrate a relaxed and at ease attitude towards work and money. Yeah. I want you to know it's not an overnight thing, but the consistently being conscious and aware, right? Even if the only thing that you're conscious and aware of is your breath, and you can start focusing on taking those abundant breaths, right? As much as possible. That alone will help you to tap into the nature of things, into natural abundance. But the most powerful way to do this at a more rapid rate is to program your mind on a deep level. And so if you're in the video course, if you're in my trading course, that's where I teach all the techniques, how to do that. Like all the best stuff. There's still higher things. But if you practice literally for 3 months straight, if you go into my subconscious programming and course and you practice everything I teach daily for 3 months, it will change your entire life. It will change your viewpoints on money, your viewpoints on yourself, your viewpoints on the world. I say that 100% guaranteed, factual. The only people, if they go through that and they're not seeing changes after 3 months, is because they're not practicing it. So I teach different visualization techniques. I teach different ways to, when money pops up and you're starting to deal with money in your life, to start to change, to reframe the way you see it. I teach how to go out and mentally to find the traumas that you might have experienced in your life, in your childhood, or even at a job. I had jobs who caused me trauma about money because the way they treated me. And so we have to go in.
Yo.
What's good? How you doing, bro? Good to see you.
Good. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good.
I just didn't know if I was live or not, but I am.
Oh, here you are. Yeah. So yeah, the 9 to 5 mindset. If you try to grind in the charts, I'm gonna show up and put 10 hours in. It ain't gonna happen for you. It won't. And so I actually had this conversation while you're learning, for sure. The more time you put into it, the quicker you're gonna get to the point of where it's like second nature. But the thing is after the point, like where I'm at now, if I were to put in more than 5 hours a week into trading, I would be failing. I'd be losing money because it's over trading. So that's, and even that sometimes I'm really only at like 5 hours in a month looking at charts. So the point I'm making here is we have to, if you want to be a trader who's profitable, an investor who's profitable, even an entrepreneur who is profitable, and you're able to not live off of other people's paychecks, you have to stop treating life how a 9 to 5 has taught you to. And one thing that a lot of my friends that are entrepreneurs, that are business owners or traders, we talk about sometimes how like a salary, an hourly wage is like a drug. It's literally it's addicting because it teaches you to sell out on your dreams, because it's really, honestly, it's very easy to get a job and to get paid a salary. It's so easy. And you know, you can now we live in an age where you can go get a 50, 60, 70, 80, $100,000 a year job, and then you can hire someone from the Philippines as an assistant to do most of the work of that job for you, especially if it's like an online job. And so what I'm getting at is like all that stuff, it's a drug to try to get people to like to not go for their dreams. And so you can, even just what I explained, if you can just start to be smart and figure out how you can detach yourself from that mindset of relying on that paycheck every week or every 2 weeks, right? Just like for real, and I don't want, I'm not saying this bad to anyone, I'm saying this in my own experience. I was so addicted to my salary for so long. And I would just go off and I would be reckless with my money because I knew for 100% sure I'm getting that paycheck again on Friday, boy. And I don't have, it doesn't matter if I blow all my money because I'm getting paid again on Friday, boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, what, that is a drug. That's like an addict. Let me use all my drugs right now. I'll get more money later. I can steal money. I'll go get more drugs later, you know, like live it all in the moment. And that is not the way to be. Not at all. That's not how nature works. And so the way that I do things now is I go in flow. If I don't feel flow, I don't look at charts. Oh, by the way, Euro USD pumping as we're chatting. We said on the 15-minute it could go up, but anyway, so yeah, I think I've said that enough. But if you are in a job, you have to start to ask yourself, how can I create the mindset of someone who is an entrepreneur, of someone who is an investor? How, if I had $1 million, if I had $10 million in my bank, or don't put your money in a bank, that's stupid. If I had $10 million in crypto, how would I live my life? Would I be like worried about a paycheck every week? Obviously not, you know. But how would I think? How would I act? Matter of fact, how would I breathe? Right? And if you can really tap into who that is, you, the person who is a successful investor, successful trader, you'll see the success. Like, get the mindset first, and the rest will come. But yo, how'd you turn yourself into a cat? Oh, you're muted right now. That's funny. Okay, so we're moving on. We can look at gold really quick for a second. I did earlier. We just bounced off the moving average. It definitely, this is price action on the daily that it could go higher. But remember, on the weekly, the price action here is potential reversal price action, and it could potentially be a lower high. So we got 2 weekly candles in a row. And actually, if this one, we have 2 days left until it closes. If this one closes like this is another reversal candle. So we're watching. Bro, Lily, I've never seen that cat before. How do you do that? Let me check this out.
Unmuted or no?
Video filter. There it is. Okay. Avatar. So I found it.
Hey.
See here.
Please don't do the cat. I will not be able to stop laughing.
Hey guys. Dude, this is wild. Yeah, this is tight.
That's tight, dude.
Looks like there's more. I mean, these are okay, but like Apple did it better. Like this bear I am, his mouth is kind of like weird shape. That's okay. There's other filters too. What else we got? Oh, heck yeah. This is tight. Why don't I never use these? I've never like even tried to explore them. Lollipops.
Oh,
Bing. That was
melodies hats.
This is great. Oh, nice. Colors and everything. Let's go. Virtual backgrounds. I knew about the virtual backgrounds, but oh, we love it. Look,
Give me your money.
Sly Cooper, like that video when I was a kid.
I'm here to analyze some charts.
Okay, guys. Let me find one that I really love.
You guys, I'm supposed to be working out at physical therapy right now. I'm too busy cracking up. I can't.
Can you believe I have a mask on? This is the dumbest one I've ever seen. I can't lie.
Trying to shred some powder.
Hey, dude. Shred the gnar, dude.
Drop in, smack the lip. Weapon.
Oh, what is this? I got gold jewelry. All right, we'll stick with the bling blang blow. Yeah, that's the one. No, I'll be a pirate. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a market pirate. Okay, good enough for me. Okay, cool. So, I don't know if I can take it seriously because every time I look at myself, I'm gonna like giggle. So maybe we'll just do it different. Go to
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm gonna want this on forever now.
Yeah, that one looks dope. I'm not gonna lie.
Try to take me seriously with this.
Dude, if you're talking charts, it's all serious, man. Doesn't matter.
It's like, you guys not seeing what I'm seeing? Put on the glasses.
Haven't you learned? I only follow people on Twitter that have like a crazy ass like profile picture. Like if you don't have like a frog or a bug or something stupid, like then you're not serious. You know what I mean?
Dude, is the
It's the
cat
way the neck-
talking? It's like so like,
Like if it's a normal profile picture, it means you know nothing.
dude.
It's the way the neck moves on the cat.
I
For
know
me.
it's like not even that good. That's so funny.
Cody, that eye one is very becoming. It looks real good.
All right, I'm a panda. Panda. All right. So let's look at big.
Why does the neck move like that?
Yeah, it moves like weird side to side. We should start like we should make a video or like a choir where we sing something. I see a little silhouette. Just like go off with all the. All right, let's check Bitcoin. So look at that monthly close. Absolutely beautiful. Strong monthly close. Let's look at the last time Bitcoin had a monthly close like that. Let's be honest. Compare the size of that to, here in 2020, November. So, I mean, that you can't deny that. Is there any candles where we didn't do that? Like we have this one that's smaller in 2019. But it was smaller than this current one. So this is really big candle. Really big candle. So gonna go to the weekly now. I said in the Bitcoin update I did, the crypto update, I was like, all right, I'm gonna change the panda for myself. Gotta stop laughing. Okay. Oh, and it's still got the other one. All right, there we go. Okay, so I said in the crypto update, basically I was like, yes, it's looking good to go up, but just be prepared because Bitcoin especially, when people think it's going to do one thing, when everyone thinks it's going to do one thing, a lot of times it does the opposite. And so I do see here on the weekly, very clearly a pattern that somebody's drawing lines on my screen, but whatever. The pattern that I have here, I don't know if you guys can see these lines. Someone on Zoom can draw, like every one of you can draw lines if you want it on my screen. But anyway.
Really?
Yeah, if you just hit annotate, you can draw stuff. Just be appropriate. But yeah, if you want. Yeah, so anyways, in these candles, we see large candle that's about half the size, and another candle that's about half the size of the previous. So to me, this means is like we're getting slower, that the upward movement is slowing down. So just the price action of that tells me, whoever drew that little trend line there, exactly, got a resistance.
Yeah, I that was me, but I'm just testing stuff out. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
How do I go back?
All right. Somehow you can hit like undo or clear. But
I hit eraser. Well,
yeah, I can do that.
there he goes.
So I gotta be honest, like we have to be real and just know that this is a potential resistance area, a potential area where we could see retest. It would actually be, to me, even more healthy for Bitcoin to dip. Either here 20K, before, if we're gonna go higher, before we go higher, but also I have some people I follow.
Can I show my screen? How can I do that?
Yeah, if you want to do that, let's do it, bro. Hold on, let me make it so you can. Okay, yeah, you can share your screen.
All right. I'm gonna get the trading view. Where is it?
By the way, guys, you should introduce yourself. So, because there's probably a lot of people on here who don't know who you are.
Yeah, I'm Turner. Nice to meet all you guys.
Turner is 100% on crypto.
100%.
Turner has funded his life completely with crypto from the bull run of 2021.
Yeah,
And you're
I retired myself from crypto in the last bull run. And this bull run is the bull run that I fuck off forever.
That's what you think. This is the bull run where you start to build things so other people can fuck off forever.
All right, so can everybody see what I'm looking at?
Nope. If you click you have to click share screen in the green button and the zoom,
Okay. All right.
and then it'll
Uh,
tell you to pick what you want to share.
How do I do that? Share screen. Share screen. Okay.
The cat, dude.
I know it's the cat's throwing me off.
That was great.
All right. Is everybody seeing what I'm seeing?
Yeah, if you go to Trading View, you'll be able to. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Everyone sees this?
By the chart.
Okay. All right, we are on the daily here, as you can see. I call this orange line as the bottom, right there. And because I was all-time high, and that was resistance, and then we went through it sideways, which is that sideways action, right? Like right here was really crucial. And I remember being right here, and I was like, man, we didn't have a retest of this breakthrough. And I was like, that's kind of weird. And then when we went and we did this huge wick down to here, I was like, oh man, that's the bottom for sure. And it ended up looking like it ended up being the bottom, which was really, really cool. Let me see. Oops. Yeah, right there. And so after that, what we can look is, you see that Stotch RSI, the first one down, this one right here. See how we're now at the bottom? We were at the top, which means we were oversold on the daily, which is why we came back. But you don't always have to dump in prices for it to reset. As you can see, we've gone sideways, but the Stotch RSI has pretty much reset. The only one I'm a little bit worried about is the MACD on the daily here. You see this cross on the bottom? Can you guys see that?
Yes, I can see that.
Okay, cool. So these things have to reset. Like, it can't just stay at 100 the whole time. You know what I mean? So they reset all along the way up. But now we're going to move on to the weekly. So you can see the weekly, we do. Sorry, I'm still figuring this out on my phone. You can see on the weekly, we still have, I mean, we have a little bit of a cross here, but it's okay because weeklies can kind of stay at the, you want it to stay above 80 necessarily on the weekly. That means it's like, it has the upper momentum. So we're in bullish momentum on the weekly. And the one that's really, really interesting is this monthly. So I want everybody to pay attention to right here, the Stotch RSI on the monthly. See this right here, guys? Right there?
Yeah, I can't lie. This looks this makes me want to go all in right now. Just looking at the RSI and the monthly and everything.
Yeah, no. If I show you my charts, is what I wanted to show you. Like, it's like I said, I went all in at 15.5. Like, I don't have $1. I have $4 of cash in my wallet. And that's about it. Everything else is, yeah, ethanol coins. But other than that, so let me so on the monthly, as you can see right here on the Stotch RSI, every time we cross up into the bullish territory, which is above 20, we don't just cross up a little bit. We go straight to the top. So you can see here back in 2015, as soon as we cross here, straight to the top. As soon as we cross here, straight to the top. And look at this, guys. We are about to enter bullish territory at the 20. So on the monthly, I expect this to do what it's done the last 2 times here and here and go straight to the top. Yes, this was the COVID crash where we came back down, but that was, as you guys know, a black swan. So I do think that we're going to go straight up from here. And the most important thing is look at the MACD on the bottom. This is a momentum indicator on the bottom here. Look where the momentum, if anybody is bearish here, I mean, you're just crazy, honestly. Like if you're bearish with this MACD, look, we went all the way up. And I remember being up here and being like, man, this is kind of whack. Like we're about to have this huge monthly MACD cross here. And look what happened afterwards. So these things, these underlying indicators, along with the price action, are absolutely no joke. So when this thing crosses upward, you can imagine we have months of upward momentum, in my opinion. And then you look on the RSI, the most important thing here is today's going to be the pivotal day. If we have a good meeting with Drum and we break above this yellow line, all of these indicators are pointing to me that we should be seeing a lot of monthly upward momentum swings. And we just, because of how far we went up and then how quick we went down, like, so here's the best way to describe it. So imagine 2 balls, right? And then there's an end point. And then one of them goes straight down towards the end point, and the other one like goes like a fast down and then has a hill up to get to the end point. Like which ball do you think will get to the end first? The one that goes straight or the one that like falls off the cliff and then has like a little bit of a hill to climb before it hits the end point?
Logically, it'd probably be the one straight down, but
Yeah, that's what you would think, but it's crazy. But the physics behind it is the one that falls off the cliff and then has a hill to climb will actually reach the end point first. So it's pretty much these oscillations allow for the crypto markets to move up, like in market cap, faster because you have these swings up and down. So it's crazy, but this is what's actually going to lead to faster like overall market cap within 5-10 years or so, versus it just going up in a straight line. And so because we went down so quickly, now wait for the rebound, because every time you drop a ball, it doesn't just hit the ground and not do anything. It bounces back up. And so we're going to see that bounce back up, and it's going to be like, people think we've already seen a lot yet. Like we haven't seen anything yet, in my opinion. And so just to think about it, the last time we were this low in the Stotch RSI, as you can see here, last time we were this low, Bitcoin, believe it or not, guys, was at $3,000. And so if you realize that, that means, man, last time the Stotch RSI was this low and then we went to the top, we went from 3,000 to 69,000. So what does that tell you from 15.5 to the next potential top? And it was the same. These indicators play out time and time again. As you can see, the bottom here, we were in the MACD. We were also, it was looking very, very similar beforehand. We had the bull run in 2017. We went all the way up, and then we came down. And then you see once these candles go from red to light red, that's when the momentum starts to shift. That's when you really want to start buying. And when you want to start selling is when these green candles right here start shifting to light green. And these dark green candles start shifting to light green. That's when you want to, it's almost too easy. It's kind of like clockwork. But that's kind of what I'm seeing moving forward from here. And then you can even do one more, like the 3 months, which gives you a little bit like longer data. But as you could tell, like we have, so I mean, we're so low. Like the last time we were at on the 3 month, like I said, it's like that's why people were saying that there was more downside. I just didn't see it happening. So that's pretty much what I have for you guys. But I just wanted to show you how important the MACD, the RSI, and the Stoch RSI is for me. I just ended my premium TradingView account, or else I would have the or else I would also have the moving averages here. But you can expect that where we're going to bounce, I think the moving average, like the 200 week, where we're around it somewhere, and then you have to look at the 50 and then the 21. Those are the only moving averages I look at. But you can put that into your own TradingView. So yeah, from here, I expect, let's see, we'll go to the weekly. And also, if you guys haven't learned about Japanese candlesticks, I would read a book. I'll put it in the description later so you guys can read it. But I read a book on Japanese candlesticks, and that has changed the game for me in terms of being able to read what's going to happen next. And as you can see, even on the weekly, we're still holding above the previous close, or we're still technically in bullish territory on the weekly. Like, we have came down below halfway of the mark of the week before, but that doesn't matter. It just matters on where the week closes. And as you can see on the daily, it's not really looking so bad because we're closing, right at the top of this range here, which isn't too bad. So like I said, today is going to be known as the pivot day, in my opinion. Like, everything will change. If this meeting goes well, today will be known as the day where that investors shift from, my God, we're all gonna die in 2023 recession, to, oh my God, AI revolution, technology, like, we're going into the future. But it's gonna be short-lived because, like I said, I'll get into this more detail. I do see some issues with earnings in businesses later on this year and into 2024. So if we go all the way up, and then we see we're at the top again of these green on the monthly on the MACD, and you're seeing people just saying like, oh my God, we're going to 500K now, you know what I mean? And we're at like 120 or something like that. And you start to see we're at the top. I'll be notifying you guys that this is the time to be starting to cash out. And then we're going to see another plummet again. But for now, this is time to where you can park your money, you can dollar cost average in, you can take some low leverage longs. At this point, the higher leverage longs were at the bottom when I was calling it, but you know what I mean? That's over with. Can't be doing high leverage longs at this time. That's only you can only buy high leverage longs in extreme fear. It's the only time to do it. So now is still a great dollar cost averaging price. As you can see, this monthly close, anybody who bought in the last 6 months is in profit now. And you can see we're closing higher than any of the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. So we could just see 3 more of these candles. Like, look what happened in 2021, and people don't realize it, but last time we were at 23,000 in 2020, we actually went all the way to 42K in 2 weeks, guys. So that's really, really insane. Like, think about it. Imagine if in 2 weeks we're already at 40K, and it's not even the end of February. Okay, like that. Imagine what the rest of the year I'm bullish up until like maybe May is where I'm gonna be bullish. Maybe sell in May and go away. The last 2 summers I didn't have that good of a summer because I didn't sell as much. But this summer, I'm not gonna get caught again. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys for today.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. Yeah, powerful thoughts. Good to have other viewpoints. And definitely, and as always, like, just make sure. I mean, I definitely personally hit lots of points where I have most of my money in crypto. like there are times where I had like 99% of my money in crypto, like Turner has right now, but I don't do that anymore personally. Just like being in crypto since like 2016, I've just seen ups and downs, and I'm more safe now, which means that sometimes I'll
But
make
I just wanted to say one thing. I've set up my life in a way to where even though I'm 99% or more than 99% in crypto right now, it's not like my life, even if ETH were to drop 50% from here, my life wouldn't just like cave in on myself. I have I don't like I relive like yeah, I have like a 7-figure net worth, but I like nobody knows that. You know what I mean? Like I literally live off coconuts and like like food that I catch from
on
the
a
ocean.
like literally. I'm gonna tell him. We don't have to tell him where he lives, but he lives on a boat that he bought. He runs on solar and chills. So
Yeah, and so I have like zero upkeep. I don't need to like I don't have like a business. I'm not like hiring people like you know what I mean? So um and most my average price on ETH is like 100 to 200. So it's not like terrible for me to sell any like sometimes I have to sell like a little bit, but you know, I'm not like living an extravagant life right now. Like I'll save that for like, you know, the next bull run. And I don't have like student loan debt because I dropped out of college and stuff like that. So if you had all those things, I would say like don't be in 99%. But for me, I can handle 30% swings in my net worth and not even, you know, bat an eye. Um, and but it wasn't always like that. Like in the beginning, yeah, my stomach it would churn, but now it's like if you have that long term vision, like I can sit for 2 years exactly as I am right now and need very little money, but it's taken a lot of mental thought to get to the point to where I can like where I set up my life to where I don't need that much money to live, and it's that's another thing that people should be looking into is how to make their life sustainable to where they don't have to just like fork over thousands of dollars every month just to live. You know what I mean? And uh, like yeah, I have 7-figure net worth, but I sleep outside in like a tent or like on a boat, like I you know what I mean? Like it's not like and I'm happy doing these things. It's not like I'm not happy or I'm not or like I'm miserable or like you know like everything I have is fine. It's even better than you know a lot of other times in my life. So I just want to put that say that.
heck yeah. Well, like you heard it here, guys. You know, I preach all the time. Mindset's everything. And like for me too, to get to a point where I felt like, okay, wow, I'm really like I'm wealthy. I haven't reached 7-figure net worth yet, but like we're probably this year. And so for sure this year. And
For
so
sure, bro. No problem.
like no doubt, you know. So like um the mindset is what got me here. It's first I decided to, you know, focus on money, and that was horrible. And I never actually made a lot of money when I was focused on the money. But then when I started to focus on how can I make myself better? How can I make myself more resilient? And most importantly, how can I make myself more sovereign, more free spiritually, more free mentally, and that led to more freedom financially and in the physical world. And so, you know, just emphasizing that. One thing I do want to say too, before we get too far off of like when you're showing your analysis as a day trader, I don't know how much experience Turner has with day trading. I want to just tell you, there are a lot of different strategies, and it could be really enticing today to see Turner strategies and be like, yo, let me try that when you've been practicing something for 2 or 3 months or longer and it's been working for you. If you have
Yeah.
something that you're seeing progress in, it can actually negatively affect you if you decide all of a sudden, oh, now I'm going to change my strategy with trading. But doing your own research, of course. I used to use every indicator that Turner had on his charts. I used to use those, and now I mostly just look at the candlesticks. But there's still a lot of power.
Yeah,
And
that's a great point. And I wanted to say that I started off day trading. That's what I
okay.
originally started with. And so yeah, I was in the discords, you know, I had pre-market scanner that I was using. I was looking at low flow, high volume, low cap stocks. You know what I mean? I was reading news every freaking morning. I was following a whole bunch of people throwing me out like ideas and like stocks, and then I was like writing down lists of like stocks, and then and like what sectors they were, and so I had like this whole list of like stocks, and then I would like find like stocks similar to that stock, to that like solar plays or like EV plays or like oil plays or like technology plays, and then I would batch them together. And then the way I made like a crazy amount of money by day trading is so yeah, along with like the scanner, which is super important, and then being able to get in and out. And I remember sometimes I would do like 5 or even 10-second trades, but you know what I mean, my life was I was in a different position then, to where like I needed to actually go ahead and make that money really, really quickly. Where I'm not like now, I don't need to do that as much. But that's how I started. And where the way I made a lot of my money day trading is off sympathy plays. So if one, like the top one ran for that day, I would look for the sympathy underneath that. So what is a stock extremely similar to that? And then once the money flows out of that main one, I would go hit the second or the third one underneath it, and maybe not get as much as the first one, but get a 30 or 50% pump out of that. And that's how I did for a long time. But I ended up doing that for a while, and the day trading was good. But to me, I don't like to personally wake up every morning and be like staring at my computer. And it was like, it is more of a stressful thing. And then once I made like enough, then I got into like a little bit, like holding a little bit longer, holding like 1 week, 2 weeks, you know what I mean? And then so I started like going up in time frames, like instead of like looking at the 1 second and the 10-second and the 30-second charts, I was starting to do like the daily and the weekly, and being like, okay, like I can see like this is a pretty good area where I could just buy in like in a larger amount and hold for like 2 or 3 weeks, and maybe get like a 10-20% pump, even a 30% pump on some really solid names that even if it goes down 10-20%, I'm okay with holding if I'm wrong. You know, like some like Net or CrowdStrike or Datadog or Nvidia, you know, some things like that. Um, and then from there, I realized that I can be fully invested in the market. And this is where I'm getting to now. And I'm learning to hedge. So I can be fully invested upwards, and then say like, oh my God, like right now, like we're up 30%. I can take a small hedge down on a short. And if it doesn't go down, it's fine. But if it goes down, like I'm still going to capture some on the way down. I can sell it and then buy back in. And so you can learn to like, that's how my trading has evolved. So day trading, and then to like more swings, and then options. And now it's like, I like to try and get in as much at the bottom and then sell out as much at the top, and obviously like big liquidity coins, you know what I mean? And like I have probably like maybe 8 to 10 to 12 coins that I'm in like big on. And then you can hedge at the same time, so you can still like take advantage of the volatility and still capitalize on it and still feel like you're trading in and out. And that's kind of where I'm at now. But I don't have to like, and eventually hopefully all you guys get to this as well, where you want to make your money work for you. Like my money works for me the hardest, and it's always, once you get to a certain amount, you want to be able to live under the means of that, and let the bulk of your money be your biggest, strongest work asset for you. And as long as but yeah, like the thing is that people don't realize, but you have to know how to read charts and know when to get out and when to get in on like a monthly basis. Like it doesn't have to be so much day to day or weekly, but if you can capture, like the way I think of it is like the meat and the potatoes of the trade. Like you don't have to capture the whole percent of the trade. That's why I was totally comfortable with, you know, going all in at 15.5, because even if it went down, so I was telling fucking Cody, I was, even if it goes down another 20%, we can all here sit and agree that eventually it's going to recover.
Yeah.
And so the potential of it recovering is okay with me, of it going down another 10 or 20% on me. But at least I like, if it doesn't do that, like that's perfectly fine, and I'm captured it up. And so but that's the way that I found to have the most like relaxation in my life, and it's brought a lot of like peace and tranquility, and like I get to do the things that I like to do in life and not have to like stress. I do love to still look at the charts all the time, but it's more of just like I'm monitoring and updating and making sure that what I think is going to happen is happening. And right now, what I think is happening is happening. And we did have that 30% God candle, and we'll see. But yeah, those are my thoughts.
That's rad. No, it's like perfectly aligned with what I was saying earlier. You probably, obviously you make trades way less even than I do, but sometimes I'll go like 2-3 weeks where I won't even make a trade, and in forex, but especially in crypto. In crypto, actually, I don't trade. I don't leverage trade crypto. Okay, I won't say that I kind of do, but it's more of just like a gambling account, just for when I'm bored. It's like a nothing account. Like it's literally only $2,000 in it, and it's just for if I feel like gambling and I feel like the market's really volatile, and I'll risk more on that. And I never do that with my main forex account, which is like my main income from trading, and I never do that with my stack of crypto. That's all I bought spot. So I just saying that the natural progression of a trader for those that stick to it and don't quit, and it's clicking obviously, is smaller time frames to get the patterns down, and then it starts to click for you. You start to make some money, and then you realize, okay, maybe trading less makes my trading better when I do it. And that even works, and it makes sense for even the higher time frame. When you get to the point where, like in crypto, I remember and it was I guess it was like January last year, February last year. I was just like, all right, I'm probably not even gonna look at or talk about crypto for a while. And I talked about it going down a little bit, but then after that I was like, all right, we're just focused on forex. Crypto's in a bear market. I'm not buying, I'm not selling, I'm not doing anything. I'm on the sideline. And so my crypto analysis, or just watching the charts, is going to be so much better if I'm not doing it all day every day, and any analysis. So yeah, I still am like, I do see the God candle, but I'm just careful. And a lot of that, I will say, probably comes from, maybe I can't deny, maybe PTSD from the bear market I experienced in 2019.
Of course.
Mostly 2018, 2019. And this is where I first experienced like a free life away from a job, but then I lost it all, and I had to go back to my job with my tail between my legs, like beg for it back. And
Damn.
so yeah, so all that was horrible. Then we're back again after a little bit, but yeah, I end up going to forex specifically because of that. So now, in crypto, I still think it's much, much better to look at it on like monthly, even yearly charts. I look at the yearly chart a lot.
Yeah. I feel you. The only thing I wanted to say was, yeah, I like, you don't have to be trading all the time, but you have to be able to recognize like when things start to get hot, you have to be able to turn the juices on. And that's kind of like a feeling thing, but like you don't like it, you only need like necessarily like one trade or even 1 or 2 months to make up for like the entire year. Like right now I could cash out and be up for the whole year and have done a fantastic year, like a 40% year. You know what I mean? Like total net worth return on the year. But I do think that there's going to be more upside, so I'm holding still. But when the markets are hot, that's when you need to learn. Okay, I need to like spend more time. I need to be grinding. I need to be shaving my head and not be partying. I need to be, like, now is the time that I need to be going in extra hard, because the times are not always there. When the times are there is when you have to be there aggressively. And if you're there aggressively during the right times, that'll make up for the 80% of the time where you're just watching and not trading. Does that make sense?
Exactly.
Cool.
Exactly. So there you go. Like go back to the not having the 9 to 5 mindset. It's like, saving your focus for those specific times. And yeah, that's why trading is the best is like if I can conserve and cultivate and save my energy, even if it means that I took like a month off from trading, that first hour that I'm back in the charts after a month, I have had so many times where I just like I made so much in just a couple hours or just that 1 hour that I hit my goal for an entire month, And so it's because I spent that time conserving my energy and, waiting because where focus goes, energy flows. So especially with charting, it's so much like we sometimes don't think this, but it is mentally taxing. We are, we're analyzing patterns.
Super,
We're
super mentally
yeah.
taxing.
So, the more we're doing it, where focus goes, energy flows, and our brain's doing all this processing, it's yeah, we want to have as much focus as we can, as much energy as we can. So
Yeah, definitely conserve your energy for when the actual, like, you actually need to be able to be there, like, all the time. Which it's like I said, like trading, like once you get to where I'm at, it's a lot of monitoring, and I have to definitely like keep my cool, and have to learn to be patient. But doing like learning to be patient, learning to keep my cool has taught me valuable lessons outside of life. Like I've learned that like I have to have like a disciplined life. Like I have to go to the gym and I have to eat good, and like I can't be going out and partying because it's just going to take me out of that momentum and take me out of that kind of like ritual mindset, and like we're like every day is progressing upon the previous day. And that's how I like to look at my life now, is every day is a small progression from the day previous. And I feel like now honestly, the better. It's crazy, and I've said this to some of my normal friends and they think I'm crazy, but when I'm feeling my best and doing my best, for some reason, that's when my money is doing best. And it's just weird, but I just tell people like, oh, like I don't need to be focusing on that. I just need to be focusing on the gym, my health, my food, and all that else is gonna somehow take care of itself. And to normies, that they're like, that's crazy. You gotta get a job. Like your bills don't care how you feel. You know what I mean? But they're trapped in that mindset, and so they're always, if that's how they feel, of course they're gonna have to be in the 9 to 5. Of course they're gonna have to be working. You know what I mean? Because that's what they believe.
This is a good point. I want to mention if you have a job right now and you don't want to have a job, you have to realize that if especially if that's what the income you're relying on, you're putting all this energy out for that job. It takes a lot of time and energy. And so like Turner made an amazing point, when you're giving all that energy out, if you want to get out of that, if you want to build something for yourself, whether it's through trading and investing, or you start a business, whatever you do, if you want to make that happen, you have to bring extra energy in and be especially careful with the energy that's going out outside of your job. And so that's such a good point that I don't mention enough. And thank you. I'm going to probably go live and talk about this on Instagram for something today or tomorrow. But I had to make the same sacrifice for me to get to the point where I could quit my job because of day trading. I was doing door-to-door sales, which door-to-door sales is extremely taxing as well. And so I had to, and I was managing teams, and it was a whole thing. I had to skip all the going out on the weekends, which all the door-to-door sales guys do. They make a bunch of money in the week and then they go out for the weekend. And I had to stay home and not only save my money, but save my energy, save my time, because anytime I would go out and I would drink alcohol, I would, the next day is like out basically. Because not only did I not get enough sleep, but the sleep was bad because I was drunk while I was falling asleep. And on top of that, my whole next day is gone. My whole next day of focus because I didn't have enough sleep and I'm hungover, right? And so not only did I waste the energy of getting off of work that Friday night that I could have spent studying, but then I would, my whole Saturday was gone as well. And then Sunday, no one works, right? So I'm not working Sunday either until Monday. So what I had to do is I adopted the habit of every time when people were sleeping or when people were out partying, especially when they're out partying, I was sleeping, but in all my extra time, I would get up early. I was studying charts. I was trading. I was making it happen. When people were going out for the weekends, I was staying home. You know, I was making sure I was doing things with my physical body, whether it was swimming, going to the gym, whatever. But although that extra energy that had been going into other things, I needed to use that energy. I needed to save that energy up to use that to be able to escape my job, to get out of my job. Had I kept staying in those same processes, like Turner was saying, partying, you know, drinking and stuff like that on the weekends, I wouldn't be here in Mexico, wouldn't be here talking to you guys, still be knocking on doors probably. And I don't drink alcohol. I don't touch it. Like it's not like a sometimes once a year. No, I don't drink at all. To me, I put a lot of time, energy, and effort into bringing myself up to a higher frequency. And every time I drink, it takes from me. It doesn't give to me. I will say, you know, I do believe that the best way to be is natural. I do smoke joints here and there. And tobacco here and there, and sometimes very, very rare. But I do breath work every single day. Every single day, I'm working with my lungs. I'm getting physical, and it's more of a tool because I'm really in build mode. I'm really, really like I'm on my life's path, and so I use these things. I also use coffee and things as a tool to get myself more present in the moment. But even that, I know that anytime I use something, whether I smoke a joint or I drink a cup of coffee or whatever, I'm just borrowing energy from a future version of myself. That's all. So Sal said sobriety and healthy living tend to increase our electromagnetism, thus making us more attracted to the frequencies of the universe we are intending to manifest. 1,000,000%. Sobriety it's a natural way of being. For me, it's honestly the best thing is getting ourselves into that abundant state. And so when we take things, even me drinking a cup of coffee, that's taking something. I think all things in moderation is not going to affect your health very bad, but I know that I am not investing into my future. Even drinking a cup of coffee is only thinking about myself right here and now. And so once again, that's the same practice, same mindset as going out on the weekend and drinking, right? And the same process and mindset as going out and partying. And so anyways, Shani said she hasn't been drunk since before she was old enough to drink. Heck yeah. So I know.
Well, I was gonna make a comment. I was gonna say go out and party all you can now before you have kids, because
I love it. Yeah,
no, you know, in moderation, like you said, but no, seriously. I guess none of you guys have kids here.
Honestly, I have I sometimes I say a business as a kid, and I teach so many people. It's not the same as a child, but anyways, the amount of focus, I should say, that it takes is probably similar to the amount of focus it takes with a child, how like time wise, I should say. But the actual having a child is a whole trip that I've thought about many times. Just imagining a little human, and you're like literally you're programming it to be whatever, you know, yeah, it's interesting. So it's
Watching them grow is wild for all those reasons you just mentioned.
yeah.
My son just turned 4 in December, and I'm
Wow.
like, this is like the, you know, when they actually turn into their own person stage, and it's like, oh my goodness, it's really amazing. I also wanted to say something else. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I am looking for resources in keeping a trading journal. Like what I really need practice with is the logistics, as far as like keeping a journal and properly recording trades, things like that, and then also being aware of ratios. You know, like I know generally they say you only want to trade so that if you do lose, you only lose 10%.
Oh, that's a lot. Even that, I actually some people think I'm crazy, but I maximum when day trading, I risk 5% maximum. That's total. So usually I average like 2%, maybe 3% per trade. Definitely don't want to risk 10%. What I can do is I have some videos that I share on that for a trading journal. The best trading journal ever. Where is it? Literally,
Um,
it's just a
can I
screenshot of. Oh, go ahead. What are you gonna say?
I just I wanted to interject and say one thing on the alcohol thing because I'm gonna get up and go to the gym now. But I wanted to say this before I left. That I'm like what I've been doing lately is I've been realizing that like I've been focusing a lot on dopamine, and so what I found and through like science and research is that so you have like a certain amount of dopamine. Imagine every time you take a shot of alcohol or like you smoke, like your dopamine goes up, right? But you have a natural baseline. And so whenever you jump up, imagine this is how dopamine works. It doesn't just like go down like a little bit. And it's like a chart, which is crazy. That everything you ever think of everything is like a chart. So imagine you're at your regular dopamine, you know what I mean? You're chilling, everything's like normal, you're not crazy, you're not low, but you're in the middle, which is normal. And then you smoke and then, or you drink and it goes up a little bit. What's going to happen after, and you have to remember this, is that every time you go up, you're going to go not to baseline, but you go below baseline. And so you're actually, every time you go up, or you have to remember, damn, in the future, I'm going to go down and I'm going to go below baseline and it's going to suck. So the higher you go, the farther you're going to go down. And to me, that's the reason why I don't like uppers or I can't do anything anymore because I hate to come down so much. To come down so much is just like it's not worth it to me. I'd rather be in the middle, positive, and like I want to like slightly be trying to slightly raise my dopamine if I can, or just stay like in the middle. And so I don't want to get too high and I don't want to get too low. And every time I use anything to naturally boost, to unnaturally boost my dopamine up, it's gonna send me down faster. And so there are many things that'll naturally raise your dopamine without as much of a hard crash, like cold plunges or running or
Breath
gym
work.
or breath work or meditation. Those things will naturally get you little bits of dopamine without like sharp crashes. Because when you take a hit of weed, it's not just like this dopamine. It's jump. And so when you jump, remember there's going to be below baseline after. And so that's the reason why it's like a simple way to put it is whenever you drink, you're going to be taking happiness from the next day. So if you're taking a shot of alcohol, know like, all right, well, I'm taking the happiness from tomorrow. And if you're okay with taking the happiness from tomorrow, like you got nothing to do, like today's the day, take the happiness from tomorrow and enjoy extra today. But know that tomorrow is going to suck extra. And that's just the way that life goes. But you can be right in the middle, but that's the reason why people get caught up in these repetitive addictions and cycles, because they're always chasing that little bit more, that little bit more, that little bit more, and they don't know how to naturally be okay in the middle. And that's the thing that people have to realize is that you have to learn to be okay with just like being right in the middle. And that's why I think ultimately, yeah, being sober most of the time is the most beneficial. I do think that there are some benefits of smoking weed. I do think there are some benefits of some psychedelics and maybe even alcohol once or twice in a blue moon. You know what I mean? But majority of the time, it's going to raise your dopamine, and then you're going to have that crash after, and that crash after is just not worth it.
But I think it's important to add that there are levels and there is a difference that a mindset creates, because mushroom coffee and regular coffee are not the same. Drinking alcohol and using cannabis are not the same. So we have to understand that with the differences in the things that we use, there is also an opportunity for how we react based on our mindset and how we're vibrating at that time. Because I can personally say from experience that I started smoking when I was 21. So, you know, it affected me much differently just to begin with. But even after that, I realized when I was younger and I was smoking, my mindset and my body was vibrating on a different level. So what would happen would be like I would hear my self talk much louder, but I couldn't understand what I was saying because everything was still coming in and flowing in so fast. I did a lot of spiritual work and a lot of healing, a lot of self-healing, a lot of self-regulation, just became more aligned. And I found that after that, when I smoked, it was able to heighten my senses for me to understand what messages I was receiving. So I think it's important to note that yes, it does raise your dopamine levels, but based off of where you are in your spirituality and where your energy is and how controlled and how in alignment you are within it, these things do affect you differently. So maybe that when the high that you're reaching is not in sort of like a 3D plane to where now when you go down, you're crashing in the way that you will say. And also there's a difference between crashing from alcohol and crashing from like CBD, you know what I mean? Even
Yeah.
THC that's sold,
Dude, I want to say for me,
distribution places.
what I notice it really affects my experience in all parts of it is my intentions when if I'm choosing to use something or intake something. Yeah, intentions are huge, you know, because a
Yeah,
lot of people will use substances to escape. And so if we're using it in that like negative aspect or negative frequency, then that's what we're going to experience. But yeah, for me, like the reason why if I want to feel more creative, then smoking, like taking a hit or two might help me to do that. But also, once again, I do 100% experience in my life that it's borrowing creativity from a future version of myself is what I experience always.
And Nyasha, did I pronounce that correctly?
Nyasha. I look crazy right now. I'm
Or not?
looking
That is a great point, and I will say, like in the beginning of my life, when I first started smoking weed and I was much younger, yeah, I didn't have like come downs. I remember it was just always great. And that's because that was like that person that I was, and I had so much energy as like a young kid that I didn't have like come downs. They weren't, bad, and like, um, and so, but that's because I didn't even like think of myself as, oh, like I'm using this too much, or oh, like okay, I've been smoking for a couple years now, like this is weird. Like it was in the beginning, it was just like, oh my god, it's awesome, this is new, and it was just like I didn't have that come down. But then after like a couple years, that's when I started to notice it as like the dopamine thing. So it like, and I do believe that this is probably similar with Cody as well. And I always told, like, I do think that the weed has allowed us to be the type of people that we are today. Like it gave us that this mindset of like I said, maybe it did take some creativity from somewhere else, but it definitely like my brother, my twin brother, he like never smokes weed, and he's so rigid, and he like doesn't understand like a lot of the things that I talk about. And like sometimes I think like, man, if he would have smoked more weed when he was like younger, like maybe we could be closer today. You know what I mean? Like maybe we could be more accepting, we could be friendlier, he could be more of like on a vibe, you know what I mean? Instead of like just him thinking that money is everything and he has to go to the job, and it's just like so concrete, his ways of looking at life. And so I do value what I want to say that has enabled me to be somewhat of a free spirit as I am now. But now that I've used it for a good amount of time, I can say like thank you for it, and now let me see what I can do just like with my own mind. You know what I mean? Because now I'm like, man, like, now I have this mindset, like wow, like I have to be grateful that I have this mindset, and now let me use this mindset that I have right now.
Yeah, for sure. I agreed with everything that you said. I'd only brought up when I started smoking because from what I've heard, there's a difference in how it affects when your brain is in a certain stage of development. So my brain had already been into, majority of its development before I exposed myself to it. But then there was still that shift in my experience of using it when I had reached a certain level, in my vibration or just in my alignment. So it definitely does have to do with
intention. That's part of it when I mentioned mindset. But I agreed with everything you were saying as well. I was just saying I think it's important to note that there's a difference between like, alcohol and cannabis, because
Sure,
alcohol but poison.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do think alcohol has been. I actually think that
anything as natural as possible, like I'm good with. If it grows like outside on a plant, I'm okay with. If it's made in the lab and it's a pill and it's made by like scientists and you don't know what's in there, I'm not like okay with that. That's why I'm more okay with shrooms than I am with acid.
yeah.
And
Right.
I had one acid. I did acid one time in my life, guys. I'll tell you guys about that another time. It was the worst trip of my entire life. I took trying to have an epiphany, and I had the opposite of an epiphany. I had just miserable life for like 6 months to like 8 months to maybe even a year afterward. Just like not feeling good, and that's what ended up causing me to have a change, which is funny to think of it like that. But I wanted to take the acid to have an epiphany to change my life, and then end up doing the opposite. It made me hate my life so much that I needed to change my life in order. And so, but yeah, I did it only one time, and that was my experience. But it was horrible. I mean, I thought I was gonna die.
That's amazing. See, I don't really experience. The last time I experienced LSD it's been a microdose that was like maybe 2 years ago. And mushrooms I microdosed maybe 4 or 5 months ago. I used to though, but like in the grand scheme of my life, I've experienced LSD over 300 times easily, and I've experienced mushrooms like over 40 times probably, and ayahuasca a couple times, DMT a few times. Now I will say I probably went overboard, but I got into experimentation.
Why you're ascended higher than me? Like I feel like Cody is higher than me faster.
Well,
He is the ascended trader.
Okay, no. I'm not the ascended trader. I am not ascended. No way. It's just a brand, and like the idea though, like for me, psychedelics, they take you up, but no matter what, even after every 300 times, yeah, it brought me a little higher, it made me more aware of what's possible, which is amazing, but still my frequency came right back down. The only difference is, oh, now I'm more aware though of what's out there and what's happening. And that's what it was. So I tried so many different experiments with it. Like a lot of my experiences with LSD were on a mountain by myself, like hiking and just really going deep in my mind and tons of astral projection. And yeah, I'm excited now because these things I can do sober. These are things that I can with breathing and focusing on energy, I can do that now. My practice is now my spiritual practice. These psychedelics go up and then you come back down. My practice it's an all natural practice, a lot of breathing and visualization, and there's different words that I say and vibrate. But it's designed to take our consciousness up slowly over time, but consistently where we don't dip. And so that's what I do now. And I can tell you that, I've been practicing this stuff for, 2.5, 3 years, basically. And I have some mentors and stuff, but my consciousness that I have now, 2 years ago, I would have easily had to have taken like a 0.5 gram of mushrooms to have this consciousness naturally. And the secret, and you're like, what's this practice? Let me know. The secret is working with energy. It's working with chi. To put it very simple, I spend a lot of my time every day cultivating chi. And the way I do that is I imagine with every breath that I'm conscious, white light is going into my body. The way I do that is different Tai Chi practices. The way I do that is different practices. I'll also sometimes work with angels who are representative of different energies, and angels may be real or not, but the energy or the amount of prayers that people have prayed when they pray to like Archangel Michael for protection, we can tap into that and all that energy from the collective. And so yeah, easily now from natural. This is why I'm also a big proponent of being natural, even though I do use things here and there. I like to just whatever, like when I'm by myself, if I'm not like working on things, I'm au naturel. I have no desire to even drink coffee or anything like that. But what I'm getting at is I have experienced now more growth, consistent growth through natural practice than through taking other things. And if you guys if you have questions about that stuff, let me know. I'm gonna make a whole like video course on the stuff. I have a little bit in my trading course for sure. But anyway, I do have to call it, but there's two things that I want to do before I do.
I gotta go, but I'm just gonna say bye. It was nice meeting all of you guys.
You too, man.
I'll see you guys. Let's look out
Bye.
meeting today. It's going to be really, really interesting. I would tell most people to just sit on the sidelines for trading because it's going to be wild out there. There is possibility of some quick downside, like quick downside, but then like fast recovery. So if you do see a quick downside, could be a time to maybe take a small long. Like I said, not with big leverage. But yeah, today is really, really important. When is that meeting, by the way? When do we find out what the
2 p.m. Eastern is when it starts.
okay. Yeah, 2 p.m. So
Oh,
also
wait, press conference. I'm sorry. So they have the statement at 2 p.m. and then the press conference is at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. So probably like, you know,
so there's been a pattern here to where around 1:30 to 2 o'clock, if the stocks are going down and it seems like we're at a support zone and we're low, and this meeting's about to come out, it's worth a potential entry or a small long, because a lot of times right up to the meeting, the stocks are going down, not if they're sideways or up, only if they're on the way down. Would it be worth maybe entering along before the meeting? Because I do think it's going to go well. I do think he's going to say that. I mean, have you guys been following Biden on Twitter? The guy's tweeting like we're like the economy is like the best economy in the world, and America's like becoming like the best. So if our president of the United States is that optimistic about the future, it shows, it's going to reflect in what, you know, Jerome Powell and Yellen are going to say about the economy and things like that. You know what I mean?
that's
So
fair.
he's been he's been really optimistic, and so I am pretty optimistic like that it's going to be 0.25 or less. I'll be a little bit disappointed if it's 0.50, to be honest, but I don't think that it's going to be 0.50. And it could be nothing. We'll see.
If it is 0.50, you think it's going to go down?
Oh yeah, if it's 0.50, then I'm going to be a little bit nervous, to be honest, just because there's a chart I'm looking at, but the yield, like they don't have any more room to raise the yield without doing something that they've never done before. I don't have the exact term of what I was looking at, but they can't raise interest rates anymore without doing something that they haven't done within like 50 to 100 years. Like, it would be so unnatural for them to raise it that much. So I don't think that's going to happen, but if
let's
it
not
does,
forget how in 2020 the stimulus checks came out and the whole market just ripped up really fast, and then all the stimulus bill.
oh, and Japan actually like opened up the floodgates of their monetary policy like recently, and so you're seeing a lot of foreign countries do monetary policy or monetary easing, and I think that we're going to follow suit. And I think that I don't think it'll be 0.50. I'll be surprised if it is, but it could be. And if it is 0.50, it just means like maybe we have another like month or two around this range.
Word. Well, heck yeah. Well, let's see what happens. Yeah, I'll probably, I can post about it in the group. I'm sure Keon also is watching in the group. Keon's focused on indices and all that, but we'll pay attention. So pay attention to the Discord. I want to go over two things because someone asked about TradingView. You out? Good to see you, bro.
Wow, I got to see you guys.
Peace.
Peace.
So I want to go over TradingView really quick, and there's one other thing. What was the other thing? I gotta come back. okay, I can't remember what the other thing was, but really quick, I just want to share with you guys in TradingView, just like how to use it. Sometimes a zoom happens. So I use a MacBook. So I scroll up and down with 2 fingers. When I scroll up and down, this is what the chart does. Now you can see I can't see the full chart. So what I do, sometimes, we want to be able to drag it. What you have to do that is you have to come to the side, on the right side where the price is, and you can see how my cursor is changed to arrows. If I just click a little bit and drag it, first of all, I can change the thickness and the zoom, but then also once I do that, I can drag it around and move it. And then if I simply double click back where the price was, it'll recenter everything. So if it gets all out of whack, you just double click on the side of the price. So hopefully that helps. You can also do it on the bottom. You can zoom in and out this way. So yeah, does that help hopefully with TradingView? Because I know you guys were saying that and I don't want to pass up on it. It was mostly just Shaney and Delaney. Yeah, so that helps. I know TradingView gets weird sometimes, but that alone will make a difference. So what else would I say that I use? If you go over here, also another thing where the tools are, you can see how it has the shortcuts. So if I want to do a horizontal line, instead of clicking here, click horizontal line, right? I can just do the shortcut. So for me, it's Option H. So instead of me clicking, I just go Option H and it'll draw a line right where my cursor is. So there's another one, but you have a ton of different shortcuts in there too. So check that out. Okay, well, that's all I'm feeling today. That was a good call. I was like, dang, 2 hours. Really good though. Went over a lot of great stuff. So found some cool filters. Probably use them next time. But yeah, appreciate you guys. Appreciate all your energy. I'll post this to the Discord. As always, just pay attention there. And if you have any questions, just reach out. So sending love. Have a great day, great week. We'll see you next week.
Peace.